If you've used Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp today, you've interacted with a product built by one of the most powerful companies in the history of the modern world. A company that promised connection and ended up reshaping how billions of people think, speak, behave, vote, shop, and communicate. But today, Meta is facing the biggest existential crisis in its 20-year history. A crisis made of collapsing trust, slowing growth, rising competitors, political pressure, technological miscalculations, and a CEO who is waging a personal war for the future of the internet. This is the story of how Meta rose to absolute dominance, how it lost control of its own creation, and why the next years may decide whether Meta transforms into an AI superpower or becomes the next fallen tech giant, remembered only as a digital empire that collapsed under its own weight. Meta didn't just build platforms, it built infrastructure, invisible digital plumbing for global communication. Facebook, the world's social graph; Instagram, the engine of modern culture; WhatsApp, the messaging backbone of almost half the planet. Every day, over 100 billion WhatsApp messages, over 1 billion Instagram stories, millions of Facebook posts and ads, hundreds of millions of hours of video, all flow through one company. To understand Meta's dominance, you need only look at the numbers. By the mid-2000s, Meta held more users than Christianity, more influence than the largest governments, more data than any corporation in history. Its recommendation algorithms shaped elections, culture, fashion, news, family conversations, even global mental health trends. The world didn't just use Meta, it grew dependent on it. For many countries, WhatsApp isn't an app, it is the internet. For many small businesses, Instagram is advertising. For whole generations, Facebook was their online identity. But the company that once connected the world would soon struggle to keep it. It all began in 2004 in a Harvard dorm room, a simple directory, a student project. No one could have predicted what it would become. Mark Zuckerberg didn't just build a website, he created the world's first global identity system. Before Facebook, online life was anonymous. After Facebook, your real name became your digital passport. Within a few years, MySpace was crushed. Universities and companies relied on Facebook groups. Small businesses created Facebook pages. Advertisers flooded the platform. Parents and grandparents joined. The ad money poured in. Then came two acquisitions that changed the trajectory of the entire company. Instagram, acquired for $1 billion. Critics said it was a waste. History proved it was one of the most successful acquisitions in tech. WhatsApp, acquired for $19 billion. People thought Zuckerberg was insane, but WhatsApp represented something Meta desperately needed: pure, unfiltered human attention across the entire world. These weren't random purchases. They were a plan, a strategy to capture young users, global communication, photo culture, mobile future. By 2015, Meta had become unstoppable, a digital empire unmatched in scale, speed, and influence. But empires rarely fall from external threats. They usually crack from within. Meta became rich from something most people never noticed: their own behavior. Every like, share, swipe, pause, reaction, screenshot, video watch, it all became data. And that data powered the most profitable advertising system in the world. Meta could predict what users wanted before they consciously knew it. Marketers loved it. Small businesses relied on it. Corporations poured billions into it. The formula was simple: more users, more data, better targeting, more advertiser demand, higher revenue, more acquisitions, more users. It was a self-reinforcing loop. Meta had become a money printing machine. But beneath the surface, something sinister was forming. A problem Meta couldn't calculate or predict. A problem involving humans themselves. Everything changed in 2016, the year the world realized something terrifying. Meta wasn't just a social platform, it was a political weapon. Fake news spread like wildfire. Communities radicalized in echo chambers. Foreign influence campaigns operated freely. Conspiracy theories reached millions. And then came the scandal that redefined Meta's reputation forever. Cambridge Analytica. A data analytics firm had accessed tens of millions of Facebook profiles. without permission, to influence elections. Suddenly, Meta was not seen as a harmless social media company. It was viewed as a threat to democracy. Zuckerberg was dragged in front of Congress. Newspapers turned against Meta. Activists protested. Governments discussed regulation. Young users mocked Facebook as a platform for parents and boomers. Meta survived, but not without scars. And while Meta defended itself from governments, a new enemy quietly rose and prepared to take over the internet entirely. While Meta fought political fires, a new competitor emerged: TikTok. It didn't copy Facebook. It didn't copy Instagram. It rewrote the rules, a feed not based on who you followed, but what the AI believed would keep you glued to the screen. A perfect algorithm, hyper-personalized, endlessly addictive. Teenagers abandoned Instagram. Creators switched to short-form video. Music, culture, memes, they all originated on TikTok. For the first time in its history, Meta wasn't leading innovation, it was chasing it. TikTok surpasses Instagram among young users. Meta responded with Reels, a successful imitation, but not a cultural replacement. Because the deeper problem was not video length, it was perception. To Gen Z, Meta wasn't cool, Meta was old. A relic of the early 2000s trying to stay relevant. And then, just when Meta was trying to recover, Apple delivered a blow that nearly crippled the entire company. In April 2021, one software update changed the balance of power in Silicon Valley. Apple introduced App Tracking Transparency, a simple pop-up asking users if they wanted to allow apps like Facebook and Instagram to track their behavior across other apps, and the world hit Ask App Not to Track. Overnight, Meta lost access to the data that powered its most profitable ads. The invisible data about users' shopping behavior outside of Meta's apps. A single pop-up cost Meta over $10 billion in revenue. Advertisers panicked. Their ad performance collapsed. Small businesses saw customer acquisition costs double. Meta's entire economic engine began to fail, and investors reacted instantly. A terrifying 75% drop. One of the largest collapses in big tech history. Meta lost $700 billion in market value, the largest single-year destruction of shareholder value any US company had ever experienced. For the first time, people asked, is Meta dying? Zuckerberg needed a solution. He needed a new future, a new story, something bold enough to redefine the company and distract from the fact that its core business had been punched in the face by Apple. So he bet the entire company on an idea no investor wanted to hear. In October 2021, Facebook changed its name to Meta. Zuckerberg announced the birth of a new digital reality, the Metaverse, a virtual world where people would work, play, shop, attend concerts, meet friends, buy digital land, wear digital clothes, and eventually spend a major part of their lives. It was the most ambitious vision since the invention of the smartphone. But there was a problem. The world didn't ask for it. Meta began dumping billions into VR, new Quest headsets, Reality Labs expansion, Horizon Worlds, VR offices, virtual avatars, Metaverse prototypes, digital legs, a meme inside the company for months. But the results were disappointing. Horizon Worlds was nearly empty. The graphics looked outdated, user retention was terrible. Even Meta's own employees stopped using it. One employee joked internally, Horizon Worlds is the most expensive ghost town in tech, and the financial losses were catastrophic. Losses exceed $50 billion. For investors, the metaverse wasn't a future. It was a nightmare. Meta stock kept falling. Employees were demoralized. The company froze hiring. Layoffs began. Tens of thousands, the biggest layoffs in Meta's history. But while the world mocked Zuckerberg's virtual world, something else was happening behind the scenes. Something that would later become Meta's biggest comeback opportunity. While the metaverse burned money, Meta was quietly building something far more powerful, AI infrastructure. Meta's AI research team, FAI, had been one of the strongest in the world for years. But unlike its competitors, Meta didn't keep everything locked behind closed walls. It made a radical decision: open source the models. That decision changed everything. What started as early experiments turned into LLAMA, one of the most widely used AI models in the world. Llama wasn't the most powerful model at the start, but it was the most accessible. Developers loved it. Startups adopted it. The open source world embraced Meta as an ally. Suddenly, Meta wasn't behind in the AI race. It had become a leader. LLAMA downloads rising exponentially, overtaking Google models and challenging OpenAI. Meta used AI to reinforce nearly every part of its business. Ad optimization, content ranking, Reels recommendation engine, spam detection, video generation, AI-powered chat creation, future AR glasses. Even Meta's internal hardware projects became AI-centric. Zuckerberg stopped talking about the metaverse and started talking about AI everywhere. The company that once seemed lost suddenly had a clear technical advantage, and one the public hadn't expected. But AI alone couldn't save Meta. Not when its reputation, users, regulators, and competitors were all creating pressure from every direction. Today, Meta is a paradox. A company that is simultaneously more powerful than ever and more fragile than ever. Let's break it down. User growth, still massive. Meta still reaches nearly 4 billion people every month. Instagram is a cultural giant. WhatsApp is becoming a global payments and commerce system. Facebook is still enormous, especially for older users and developing countries. Reels continues to fight TikTok successfully. Reputation, still damaged. Meta remains one of the least trusted tech companies in the world. People worry about privacy, data abuse, political manipulation, teen mental health, addictive design, algorithmic bias. Politicians and regulators use Meta as a symbol of big tech overreach. Competition stronger than ever. TikTok still dominates the young demographic. YouTube remains unbeatable in video monetization. Snapchat owns the teen messaging world. OpenAI and Google lead closed-source AI. Regulation, a growing threat. Governments in Europe and the US are increasingly considering breaking up Meta, banning targeted ads, forcing data separation, penalizing recommender algorithms, restricting acquisitions. Meta is fighting battles on every front. Financials, solid but slower. Meta still prints billions in profit, but the era of unlimited exponential growth is over. The market expects innovation, and innovation is expensive. Meta is no longer a guaranteed success story. It is a company fighting for relevance in a world it once controlled. But the real question is, what happens next? The future of Meta is uncertain and dramatic, because the company sits at a crossroads that leads to 3 very different outcomes. Path 1. Meta becomes an AI superpower. Meta's open source models dominate global adoption. Developers rely on LLAMA as the foundation for millions of apps. AI-enhanced ads restore revenue growth. AR glasses become widely adopted. Instagram remains culturally relevant. WhatsApp becomes a financial platform. In this world, Meta becomes more important than ever. Path 2. Meta becomes a forever utility. Meta remains huge, but stops being exciting. User growth flatlines, advertisers diversify, TikTok and new platforms take the youth. AI assistants replace social feeds. Meta becomes the next IBM. Too big to die, too old to lead. Path 3. The slow collapse. Governments force Instagram and WhatsApp to split off. Privacy rules kill targeted ads. Young users leave for AI-native platforms. Investors lose confidence. The metaverse continues draining billions. This is the most extreme scenario, but not impossible. Meta didn't just build apps. It built digital reality. It shaped politics, culture, economics, human communication, entire generations. But today, Meta stands at a moment of reckoning. Caught between its ambitions, its past mistakes, and a future no one can predict. Will Meta rise again as an AI titan? Will it fade into the background like the tech giants before it? Or will regulation, competition, and public distrust tear the empire apart? Only time will tell.